This section of the tutorial provides a deep dive into mission cards, one of the key ways for players to generate resources throughout the game. Mission cards are one of two types of cards in the operation card deck. Sleepers are the other type, but we'll cover those in another video. As a reminder, players start the game with 4 operation cards, and each round during the resource collection phase, players will draw at least 2 new operation cards, and sometimes more depending on whether or not they've used all their action dice. Each mission will tell you where the mission is located. In this case, we're looking at a mission on Goshen, whether there's a round requirement to attempt a mission. In this case, we'd have to be in the second round or later to attempt this mission. Details of the actual crime or scheme being attempted, and the reward for completing the mission. In this case, successfully completing this mission will reward you 7 credits, 4 influence, and 6 crew, which you'll collect from the bank. To attempt a mission, players roll one of their unused action die. The right side of the mission card will tell you what you need to roll to successfully complete the mission. The winning roll requirements differ from mission to mission and are all affected by whether there are criminal bases already set up in that territory. If there are no bases where the mission takes place, you'll refer to the top row of the roll requirements. If you are attempting this mission on Goshen, and there are no bases in place there, you would need a roll of 4, 5, or 6 to be successful. Anything else would result in a failed mission. Before attempting this mission, you have the option to pay to hire extra hands, which results in a higher chance of success. In this case, if you paid 1 credit, 2 influence, and 2 crew, a roll of 3 or higher would result in a successful mission. This is of course a gamble, since you don't get those resources back if you fail. Now let's say you have a base on Goshen. Since you've already got a network in place, your odds of success go up, and a roll of 3 or higher will win this mission for you. You can of course still hire extra hands and improve your odds even more. Things get interesting if there's another criminal boss entrenched in that territory. When attempting a mission where someone else has a base, you have the option to cut that syndicate in on the spoils by giving them half the reward, or you can attempt the mission under their nose without their support, in which case the odds of success go down, but if you're successful, you keep the entire reward. This choice is entirely up to the person attempting the mission and does not require an explicit agreement from the other player controlling the base. There is another type of mission called a player versus player robbery. Unlike a regular mission, in which the reward comes from the bank, in robbery missions, the reward comes straight from another player's bank account. Robbery missions are specific to zones rather than to planets, and for you to attempt a robbery mission, the target needs to have a base in that zone. And in fact, you'll need to explicitly announce which base you're robbing before rolling your action die. As with a regular mission, when you attempt a robbery mission, you'll first roll an action die to see if you're successful, based on the specified roll requirements, which can also be improved by hiring extra hands. If your mission roll is successful, you'll roll a specified number of consequence dice to see how many credits you steal from your opponent. The number of dice you roll is affected by whether or not the target's base is fortified. This is another reason to fortify bases, which we'll talk about in more detail in the base section. As a reminder, completing missions does not result in ownership of the base. If you fail the mission, increase the alert level. If the alert level is already maxed out, place a Sovereign Destroyer on the territory where the mission was attempted. We'll talk more about the Sovereign Destroyer in more detail later. Whatever the outcome, discard the card and place the action die you used back on your mat, but now in the used box.